a shed load of time anyway. So undeniably, it does suit him, this route.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I can't wait for the Angliru. Such a great climb. And I mean, after the battle, I mean, he was second last time he was there, so maybe he wants to win it. Anyway, that aside, the team of Visma Lease bike has sort of been announced. I mean, we got the UAE one. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Jonas Vingegaard, Wilco Kelderman, Matteo Jorgensen, Dylan Van Baal, who's apparently going to Quickstep, Attila Valter, who's apparently leaving the team as well, Sepp Kuss, the 2023 winner, Axel Singler, Ben Tollett, and yeah, Vingegaard. What do you make of this team? That obviously Visma always come with a great team, and it's a very experienced, well-rounded team here.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the words that I'd use to describe it. It's sort of it's a good team. Is it me just kind of thinks there's no kind of like, it's not like a bells and whistles sort of team like, oh, look at this fancy person, look at this fancy person. Like everybody's got a job in this team. And okay, maybe like a Bentel is quite exciting, but I think this is a very functional team for accomplishing the goal of winning the Vuelta. You've also got some tired legs in here. Jonas, Jorgensen, Kuss have all done the Tour de France. You've got Valter, Van Baarle, Kelderman, Zingler, and Tullet coming in. And I think it's a good combination. You got the mixture of guys for the flat stages. You've got the medium mountain guys in like Valter and Tullet. And when you got the higher mountain guys with Kuss and Jorgensen, I think it's a nice combination. Ultimately, with the spearhead of Vingegaard. Like there's no hiding away behind a co-leadership with Jorgensen or something like that here. I think that this is pretty obviously just for Jonas. He's well known for, he can take that sort of burden of being the leader. He's done it multiple times and it's a strong squad. Is it the strongest squad? I don't know. I think, you could always throw in more kind of, you could throw in a Wout or whatever. And
throw in Wout, so he does all the Grand Tours and
yeah.
takes a stage in at least one Grand Tour this year. That would be such an achievement.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's a functional team and I think that it'll work really well.
What's Axel Singler's role in this? Is he actually trying to win stages here?
I think so. I mean, there's a few sprints. I expect that he'll have a green light just to go for those himself. I don't see anybody else here really as a lead out. I think he will just be a flying it solo. And also probably because he hasn't done a Grand Tour this year. He was signed for this year, so he hasn't done a Grand Tour of his squad. And I suppose that the lower, if you dare to say, stakes of the Vuelta, where Jonas seems to be the out-and-out favourite and could kind of win this race with 6 riders, let's say, a 6-man team. Zingler's probably just here, gets a few stages to himself, I suppose, and just the experience of riding a Grand Tour with the Visma Lease bike setup and just getting used to their racing ethos, I suppose, within a Grand Tour.
I mean, is there anyone you would have put in this team either? I mean, it's so strong. Like, Attila Valter, I don't think he's been in a Grand Tour this year. Matteo Jorgensen, though, I have question marks because he was very tired in that Tour de France. Maybe the rest, then he'll bounce back and be, long season as well, though. He won Paris-Nice. He was in some of the classics as well. Yeah, I mean, and then having that hard Tour de France on top of all that, at least Jonas had some rest after the crash.
Yeah, that's true. I think there are a few names, just looking down their squad, that I would throw in.
Obviously, Olav Koy you would throw in every single team.
Koy. Yeah, I mean, Olav Koy would lap up a few stage wins here. It doesn't look like the sprinting competition is too great, but just to name another few riders, I mean, Ita Brooks, I don't know what he's really been doing this year, but
true.
A little bit.
What is he doing?
I just kind of forgot he existed. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, which seems very bad because he's such a good rider.
Yeah, so that's one for me. I'd also even say, would I dare say Jürgen Nordhagen in a race where Visma have a kind of the big favourite in the race? You could afford to put in. They've kind of got Tullet in there as that sort of young, non-proven person who in a Grand Tour. Maybe that's kind of that. They don't want to risk any more. Nordhagen would be interesting. I would also just say Persson Hagen is, he's 22 years old now. He's had, some seasons with the squad. He's had some okay results. He's never done a Grand Tour with his Melissa bike though. And I sort of feel like, as just a ruler, surely he would do just as good of a job as some other person in here. I don't really know who else, but Persson Hagen kind of feels like he needs a Grand Tour start, and I don't know why this would have been a pretty easy one for me to put him in. Dare I even say Brennan? Would I don't know.
Actually, yeah, but stick him in instead of Zingler.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're both quite similar riders. I think Brennan will get his start next year. He's only 19. I feel like his time will come. But those are just a few names that I might throw in there instead.
Yeah, actually, I think to make a good case for that with a few of them there. What's the weak point of this team here, do you think? Sepp, Kuss didn't, well, he had some good stages as well. And I mean, who knows if they need to be on top form here. But I mean, Kelderman's super strong as well. Went on his day. So, I mean, it is a good climbing force around Jonas Vingegaard. So I don't even know if that is a weak point. The flat stages, maybe Dylan Ball, though.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe the team time trial. They seem to not have those big powerhouses in here for the team time trial, like Van Baarle, Jorgensen, Jonas will be good, but it seems to lack that real horsepower. I feel that's where Persson Hagen's would have been a good fit in here. So, yeah, I feel like maybe they lack that one or two big engines to really drive that team time trial. Even though Visma seem to always pull out a good team time trial no matter what, I would say that's their only sort of Achilles heel for me. I think they've got the mountains wrapped up pretty nicely. There isn't a lot of flat ground in the Vuelta anyway, and you got a lot of versatility across some of those riders like Van Baarle and Zingler, but also like a Valter can do with a flat as well, and so can Kelderman. So they've got a lot of jack of all trades in there to cover multiple kind of areas.
Yeah, and like you said, Jonas Vingegaard at the top of that, and doesn't really need too much support in the mountains. He can just ride away from everyone, I think, if there's no Pogacar, for sure. He becomes Pogacar.
Yeah, basically, it does. Like, Pogacar sometimes doesn't even need a team, does he?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a very Pogacar impersonation by him. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Anyways, we might as well talk about some of the contenders or rivals he's up against. And here, chief of, well, UAE Team Emirates, obviously. Every time you say Visma, you have to say UAE. And Patrick here, we have got the fully confirmed one from UAE Team Emirates. That's why we all know that we're not going to get Tadej Pogacar. It's always weird that sometimes like the teams, Visma was one of these teams that like would basically confirm the team 6 months before the race. But here with UAE Team Emirates, Miguel Biao in there, obviously team leader. Obviously. Juan Ayuso is in the Vuelta, which we didn't really know if that was going to happen. Lots of rumors about him leaving and being disgruntled with the team.